Hey, accountability buddies. It is vlog number 43. And, I don't know if you can tell by the scenery, but I'm back in the work parking lot. I'm going to be taking a short walk this morning, for multiple reasons, which I'll talk about in a minute. But, yeah, it's a windy, cold day, and I didn't particularly like the idea of being down on the ocean front where it would be even more windy and even more cold. And it's not, I say cold, it's not that cold. It's supposed to be in the 50s today. So actually, a relatively nice spring day. I think I can safely say we are well into spring here in Massachusetts, although tomorrow we're supposed to get some snow. Just a tiny bit, just enough to be annoying and make it gross outside, which is part of the reason I'm going for a walk today and not skipping entirely. So I am doing a short walk because I am working on an art piece and I need that half hour, to kind of finish it up. And the reason that I'm working on this art piece and I really want to finish it is that I'm donating it to an auction for work. And because I'm donating the artwork, I get a free day off, which is pretty fantastic. That's, they'll make way more money on the artwork than I will. But it's a fair trade-off. I'm fine with that. And the other thing, so the walk that I'm going to do today is probably only going to be a half mile. I'm going to do a quick loop around. Probably won't take any video of the walk because it's an ugly walk. It's not a pretty walk. It's literally a functional half mile loop to get me to work. And to get that half mile walk in. Just to get the steps in. But the thing that I wanted to talk about is feeling like I'm using myself and my eating and my blood sugar levels as a bit of a scientific experiment. I take my blood sugars more often than I think my doctor necessarily recommends, but I do that so that I can know where my numbers are and what my body's response is to specific types of food. Like last night, a coworker offered me, some gummies, like a gummy, not those kind of gummies. If you're in Massachusetts, you know what I'm talking about. Not edibles, but gummies that, like the kids' gummy fruit snacks. And he uses those when his blood sugar is low. For me, those just spike my blood sugar real high, real fast. And I can't, if I have one of those, I feel terrible, in about an hour because my blood sugar's spiked up into the 250, 300 range and all I want is a nap. So, skip those, fortunately. But that brings me to the next part of this kind of lifelong science experiment. On the 2 days I didn't walk this week, Sunday and Monday, I also ate poorly. And by eating poorly, I ate healthy for the majority of the day and then I gave in to temptation. And I had on Sunday, my wife had picked up some cookies and cream ice cream because I was talking about it. And I don't particularly like cookies and cream ice cream. I'm not a big fan of Oreos in the first place. So adding that to a subpar ice cream base, not very exciting for me. But my wife enjoys it. So she picked up a tub of it when she was doing the grocery shopping. And I had a scoop of it on a day when I didn't walk. And that night, because I'd walked, I think 4+ miles on Saturday, my blood sugars were fine. The next day, I also was not able to walk. And I also gave in to temptation in the form of tiramisu, which is a favorite dessert of mine, but something we obviously don't keep in the house. my wife had gone for a walk, and the cafe that we often go to has started offering tiramisu. And for us, tiramisu, if you've, been in Boston for any period of time, or the North Shore of Massachusetts, tiramisu is like a classic end of date dessert. And so, that it has this historical significance to the two of us. So I had a tiramisu, like it was a small thing, but also just a carb bomb. It was delicious, by the way. And had I walked that day, it would have been fine. But I didn't walk that day, so it wasn't fine. Because I'd eaten pretty well the majority of the day, it was okay. But what I found on Tuesday morning when I got out was my blood sugars were slightly elevated. Not super bad, but elevated. And then, I had trouble keeping my blood sugars stable. Even though I walked that day, my blood sugars were up and down based off of everything I ate. Even though things that normally when I walk and my blood sugar has been good for a few days, my body was just responding really intensely to everything. So it's just an interesting thing to realize, like, if I eat poorly for a couple of days and don't exercise, then my blood sugars aren't stable anymore. But if I eat poorly and exercise, my blood sugar stays stable. If I eat well and don't exercise, my blood sugar stays stable. So it's like this sort of like balancing act of, like, on days when I don't exercise, I really have to be careful with my diet. And days when I do exercise, I can be a little less careful with my diet. Although typically I am careful with my diet lately. But we all have bad days, and we all have days where we don't eat well. And so I'm trying to, like, give myself a little, like, grace. I hate the word, but, like, grace around the idea that, I had a bad day. I had a bad couple of days. And, it's not always that I can't walk. I don't know where I was going with that, but, like, there are just going to be days where I'm not going to be able to find the time to walk. I'm not going to make the time to walk because other things are more important that day. Like today, half-mile walk, because in the long run, the trade-off is that I get a full day off to do whatever I want with. If I put that on a Friday, it means I get a 3-day weekend. If I put that on a Monday, 3-day weekend. Or maybe I want to pop it into the middle of the week on a Wednesday and just do like a day-long thing. Maybe, I don't know. Like, these are the things that I'm, like, thinking about in terms of, like, trade-offs for a day off. But yeah, having bad days, both workout wise and food wise, when they're combined, it's rough on my body. I'm now officially off my nighttime medication for diabetes, and my medication has doubled in the morning, my other one for diabetes. Still on the blood pressure medication, still on the cholesterol medication, allergy meds, doing all that still. But overall, it's all good news, right? I'm having good news. I'm feeling well. So that's all good. But, there are a couple bad days mixed in there, and I'm trying to be okay with that. And I am okay with that. I don't feel particularly bad about, not eating well on those days. And so yeah. But I think just being accountable for it too, and like realizing that things don't work right, when I combine the two is really important for me to know. I can do one, but not the other. And it's a hard thing to kind of, I don't know, not admit, that's not the right word, but it's a hard thing to, like, come to a realization that this is now how I'm going to live my life, is one or the other. And finding balance. And again, I keep coming back to that finding balance thing. And, knowing that, balance is important, but also difficult. And admitting that sometimes balance is difficult. So anyway, I have rambled long enough. It's been 10 minutes. I am going to go walk for a short amount, and then I'm going to go make some art, and probably over this video, we'll have some of the work that I'm doing. It's all collage work, which can be a little boring to watch, but I'm going to set up the kind of overhead to the left looking over my art as I work on it. So thank you for watching. I appreciate your support. I appreciate your likes, comments, views, and all of that fun stuff. And I hope that you have found this helpful as much as I have. So thank you, and see you next time.